Day 3 of the Tour of Mallorca is about to take us up one of the best climbs on the island, Sa Batalla. I'm out here for a 4-day stage race, and this is stage 3. Now, I've been staying over in Palma, but today's race starts over in Port Pollence on the north coast. Today's stage is the Queen stage. It's 110k with over 1,000 meters of climbing. The thing is, we have a 70k roll around on dead flat ground until we hit Sa Batalla. The chances of me staying with the group up the climb were almost nothing. But I had 70k to prove myself to see whether I can make it just to the foothills. Welcome to stage 3 of the Mallorca Masters.
So I'm out in Mallorca and we are day 3 of the Tour de Mallorca Masters race. Today we are doing the Queen stage, which means 110k. At 70 odd k, there is a climb up Sabatala. My goal is to survive until then and then see what happens. Guys, welcome back to the What Life. Let's roll. How is this for a finish line? Look at this. We are in Port Pollence, which is on the east coast of the island. It's taken me 50 minutes, hour to get here. Had to get a taxi over from Palma. This is the finish line. We come down here. So our race, let me give you some info on it. We are doing, it's about 110k. It's the Queen stage. There's a big climb up Sabatala. So we have 70k of rolling around. The flatlands just south of Port Pollence. It's going to be awesome. Some really good roads, some really fast roads. And then we also have like this promenade section down the beach. We're going to do that twice in our race, which is the 30-40s. Then, unfortunately, at 70k, we hit a climb called Sabatala. I'm not 100% sure on the stats. I will try and get you them in a second. That's when I know things are going to go bad for me, but I'm going to just try and hold on until then. And then this is the finish line. This is my last day of racing out in Mallorca because I don't get to do day 4. I'm unfortunately shooting off somewhere else. But I'm super excited about today. I really hope I can hold the group for the first 70k to survive until the bottom of Sabatala. Okay, let's do it. This is awesome. How awesome is this? This is it. This is why you do it, because you get to roll down here. We're going to have obviously the escort service. Yeah, it's going to be sick. So it's 20 past 10 now. Our race, 30-40s, starts at 11:15, 55 minutes to get ready. Hold on today, a little bit of a warm up, get a little warm up going. Hold on today is the plan. And yesterday didn't quite go as well as I'd hoped. I'm not complaining, just I got shelled a little bit earlier than I was hoping because just some of the guys take the group up quite quickly. And I feel like it's my first year bike racing, first year doing this. I feel like I'm like 10, 15 watts as like a, I guess, you know, as an FTP, shy of where I need to be kind of holding one of the groups. I ended up just in a little chase, 6 or 8 riders yesterday as we headed back into town to finish up. I'm hoping today stays dry as well. Let me say hi to some of the guys. I don't know any of these people, but I'm going to say hi. This might be one of the nicest start lines we've ever been on. It is also going to be one of the nicest finish lines that the group's finish on. I'm just pretty sure they might take it down by the time I finish, like yesterday. It's a little bit demoralizing. But that's not what we're here for. Survive until Sabatala, give it the beans up the Sabatala, and by beans, we're not talking big beans, we're talking whatever beans we've got left, and then roll in.
We gotta live pronto. Your friends like Colombo. You be the judge like Ronvo. Never stop on the convo. We gotta live pronto. Your friends like Colombo. You be the judge like Ronvo.
Let's go sign up for my last day of racing. Every day there's nothing valuable in it, but I have left a little bag here because I'm on the other side of the island, so. Right, that's the Masters 50-60 finishing. Let's go get a warm up in. What day to ride bikes in Spain. Spoke to a few guys also from yesterday, and they just said they were like, that was so hard. So I'm glad. I think sometimes you convince yourself you're the only one that finds it hard. I'm glad that, and they finished with the front pack, so they're still, everyone was just like, it's super hard. Hard is relative.
Slow, like a rhino.
20 minutes till we start. We'll roll around, move the legs, hoping it's not crazy off the start line. So today's route, rolling for 70k. And then we hit Sabatala, then you got 40k, well, 15k up Sabatala. I mean, maybe a bit less, but the climb starts from before you hit the village, like it starts into an incline. Then you get the climb. So you go through the village and then the climb starts, but going through the village is still uphill. So yeah, then you roll back down the other side of Sabatala. I can't remember what that descent is called, but it's the nicest descent on the island. And if you're in the front group, you get closed road escort. So that is going to be, not that I'll be able to tell you or show you what it's like in the front group, but I imagine that would just be insanely fun. Other than that, yeah, my goal, set myself a reasonably standard goal, see if we can survive until we get to the climb, and then just see what happens. Make it back in one piece. There were a few crashes yesterday with the rain, I am told. I'm just having a catch up with the guys this morning. Slippery pavements, fast rides, a few slide outs on corners and things like that. So a good day for me is hard cycling and home in one piece. Let's hope today is a good day. This is a very cool thing to do. 100% recommend it. Come out, do it. Be part of this. Why wouldn't you want to be part of this? I'm not going to be part of it for long, but
Atención, vamos a hacer la cuenta atrás, pido su ayuda.
let's go.
Vamos a ver quién.
So this was far and away my favourite day of bike racing that we've done out of the 3 so far, which is kind of crazy because it's easily the hardest of the days, of the 3 days. It was the mountain stage. I was never, ever going to survive the climb. Sabatala. It is one of the best climbs on the island. It's just under 400 meters once you go through the village. There is one thing I did not quite anticipate with today, which is once we get off the main roads, and in the UK we call them like B roads, kind of single lane roads, it actually becomes way harder to hold the group because the group is never as compressed as when we're on these big main roads where everyone's just spread out. And that definitely had an impact. Anyway, I want to show you what the start of day 3 was like. So we're neutralized, we've just rolled out of Port Pollence, we've hit this dual carriageway. It's a massive road that heads out of Port Pollence straight up Femenia, this climb. We are not going to do the climb. We hook a left through Pollença Old Town and then we circle round. But the first 70k of this race was just some classic big wide open road racing, and it was awesome. And you can see we're off. So basically what ended up happening was the neutralized car disappears. We're on this big main road. A couple of guys take it off the front, and I just want you guys to see what the consequence of that is. I'm not sure why exactly, you know, and also I am going to point out there are teams in this, right? So a couple of the Spanish teams were like radioed up, mic'd up, radioed up, and so they were kind of chatting to each other throughout the race. They kind of had a pseudo plan. My favorite thing about road racing was doing this on roundabouts, where one half goes one side, the other half goes. If there's 30 people in Buckinghamshire that want to tear around, and we just like split around roundabouts, it was my favorite thing all day. Like out of the racing, out of anything to do with road racing, my favorite thing is when we split around a roundabout and we come back together. I don't know why I enjoyed it so much. It was just like, I guess you don't get to do it too often, or that was the first time I'd ever done it. And it was awesome. But here's what the first 5 minutes, first 3, 4, 5 minutes of the race was like when the guys tried to take it off the front. But the nice thing was, because they're big open roads, it doesn't get strung out to single file. It kind of gets strung out like 2s, 3s, 4s, which kind of made it way more manageable. And this was basically the first 70k of our race, which was repeatedly finding ourselves chasing someone who has gone off the front. Big shout out to Jamie Rice Bikes. There he is, a lad from Scotland. Did pretty well today, actually. I think he did quite well on the climb. I think he might have struggled on the descent, but yeah, it was nice to meet new people out there whilst we're doing this. But the first 70k, once we'd settled in, it didn't seem like anyone was going to be able to get away. So every time there was a kick, you just ride the kick out. And it basically made the first 2 hours of this race a lot of fun. So let's say this race lasts for the front group about 2 hours 45 minutes. For us, I think it took us about 3. So we were like 16, 18 minutes behind the front guys, the front bunch. And yeah, you'll see. But the first 70k, I survived the first 2 hours. A lot of fun. This is the first little kicker, rolling kicker, that kind of gets taken up a little bit harder, and you'll see what the effect of that is. So we come into the kick, guys on the front start pushing. I don't know who was taking it up or why they were taking it up, but you can kind of see that like the watts come on. It doesn't last for very long, and I found these very manageable. So when the racing is like this, kind of more flat circuit style racing, I was holding this group. I didn't find it too much problem. I could move around the group. It was fine. Problem is that when there were inclines, and then the guys would use that as a good opportunity to like effectively separate the men from the boys, and you know, I was always one of the boys. That's just the way it is. Does anyone remember when Poggy said, I think it was like last year, he was like the guy with the best watts will win, and everyone was like, well, doesn't quite work out like that. Then he spent an entire year just like riding off the front from 80k out, and he was like, well, I've got the best watts. I'm like the other end of that scale. It's like I don't have the watts, and when I don't have the watts, when the incline increases, that's when I struggle. But other than that, to make 2 hours of a 3-hour race, I was super happy with it. I enjoyed a lot of it. You can see that there are times when the pace comes off. And this is the best thing about it, is this part of the course, when we are cruising around the coastline, completely closed road, big bunch, like a few chats with a few people when the race is sat up a little bit. Like this is the part that I really, really enjoyed. And you see we're riding down like the iconic coastline that takes you from like, I think it's like Alcudia up into Port Pollence, which is just so cool. And like fully closed roads. The guys at the front are doing all the pulling, so you can just sit in the bunch, enjoy yourself, have a little chat. Okay, so let's talk about where this kind of race goes a little bit wrong. Not wrong, just where I end up getting dropped. So the thing that I said that I didn't anticipate was how hard racing is going to be once you are no longer on these big main roads. Because you look at in front of me now, there's like 4 or 5 riders abreast, right? So even though we're strung out, like at the minimum, there's like 3. The problem is that when we go onto the B roads, the smaller roads, you never get the same width of rider up in front of you, which means that the bunch is way more spread out. And then that would just have the effect of basically, if you don't have the watts, you don't have the watts, and you can't hold the group. And then it just makes it a little bit harder. So you're going to see the service road in a second that takes us down into the village, where effectively it goes wrong for me. So at this point now, once we hit the service road, this is it. I've done 65, 70k, but you can see the service road, and we're 5 up, like 5 across the road. It's sat up here. I don't have the watts on. I'll add the watts in a second, but it's sat up here, and we're even so, the front of the group is now maybe 5-6 seconds ahead, whereas on the main roads they'd be like 2. And the knock-on effect of that is actually, for someone like me who's not competitive at the front end of this race, that was actually really quite detrimental. So let me take you into the part of the race where I end up falling off the group. My goal was to make it to the foothills of the climb. So Sabatala is honestly a gorgeous climb. It's like 2 parts, but you have to go up into the village first. The problem is that when we were going up into the village, people put the watts on. There's a couple of small risers and kickers, and I couldn't hold it. But you're also going to see other people that can't. You see how much the race breaks up. So you can see that ultimately a little bit of incline as we come into the kind of route up into the village, and you can see how much it's breaking up. Like people, there's gap between everyone's wheels. I think at this stage it was like, just do what you've got to do to try and hold the group, the bunch. And that was it. Like, there's no mercy. There's no like, oh, like if I sit on his wheel, then I'll get pulled around. There's no suck in this. There's no big group in front of you where you just sit behind them and you get pulled through, because unfortunately we are now dealing with a little bit of an incline, and just ultimately you're on your own. You're at the mercy of the power that you can produce, and your boy ran out of power. But also, I reckon from where I am in the group to the front of the group, it's got to be like 6 or 7 seconds, because it was so strung out. We've now got like 85 people at most, 2 abreast at most. So it was hard, and you can kind of see that it kicks again, and then I'm just going to run out of watts, and then once you run out of watts, I don't know what you do. You unfortunately just end up going backwards. But also, I feel like I was so close, because although 100%, as soon as we actually hit the actual Sabatala climb, I was gone, like 100%. I'm not going to deny that whatsoever, but I feel like I was close to making it over this riser and then into the town. I could have lasted at most maybe like another 10 minutes with the group if I'd had just another 5-10 watts kind of at my disposal, or another 20-30 seconds of holding the watts at my disposal, but I didn't. But it's good to know that. It's kind of good to know where we are. Also, my max heart rate is 164. Like, this is the effect of 3 days of fatigue. So for other people, when they're racing on like day 1 and 2, even though they are putting the effort in, it's not fatiguing them as much because they have a higher basement where they draw their watts from is a little bit higher. So for me, I'm like going into the red. It's super hurting. And the consequence of that is like my max heart rate for the day was 164. I can't get it any higher. I'm working as hard as I can. So that's the consequence of 2 days of having to work really hard, whereas other people were like, oh, it was hard, but they were more within the scope of their ability. I'm at the edge a lot of the time, and obviously it shows through getting dropped for 2 days. But yeah, I just don't make it into this village. If I basically made it with the group up until here, I would have rolled down a little hill and then had another chance to kind of do another kicker. But again, I'm not the only one that kind of doesn't make it through the group. Grab 3 or 4 riders. We're heading our way up Sabatala now. This is the climb. It's such a nice climb. If you're ever on the island, you should do it. I am very back of the group. You just saw the ambulance in the shot there, which was almost very much needed. For me, we didn't push it too hard, or there was no need to push it too hard. I lost the guys on the climb, but lo and behold, boys, I catch up with a small bunch on the descent. Like my descending skills, I think this might make a few people chuckle, but my descending skills brought me back into a bunch, which I'm pretty happy with. And that's testament to the SLC5 bike that I'm riding. I found it super good at handling, super good at descending. Top of Sa Batalla, the 400-meter climb, is the Repsol garage, the most iconic, one of the most iconic spots in Mallorca. So, I made it there. I was on my own. This is me descending back down the other side. This guy's not actually in the race. Obviously, we are outside the convoy, but the next guy I come up with is in the race. So I managed to kind of catch up with a group of people. No one was hammering it. We weren't in a group of people like trying to hammer it. We are well outside the realms of having a finishing spot. So we were just riding our bikes. And then once we get down Femenia, it's like a whole shot into Port Pollence. I joined my group of 5 or 6 of us. I can't remember how many there were. The funny thing was we got down to the bottom. We kind of found our little group. A few guys rode back onto the back of us. One of the boys gives the hand signal for like rolling turns. I shook it off. He just kind of looked behind me. I was like, my head was just shaking. I was like, mate, I'm not rolling turns. Another 2 minutes just to recover, and then we started rolling turns. So we worked as a 5 all the way dead straight into Pollence. And then here's the finish line, guys. How cool is this? Obviously, they have started to take the bunting down. The best thing about this, guys, just have a look at this. You'll see the race director waving his board in the air, being like, "Why? What are you guys doing?" Wait for it. As when we go under the arch, just look on the right-hand side of the screen. The RD is just like, "What are you doing?" So Spanish. I love it. Sorry about that. We were just trying to finish off the day. And that was it. I loved it as much as, that first 70k was awesome. And it was really good. I don't get to do day 4. Unfortunately, I had to be somewhere else. But day 3 was absolutely sick.
Oh, that was hard. My French buddy's first ever race.
Yeah.
First race.
So you get a mix, right? I'm first timer doing this. This is his first ever race. I think the organisers were a bit annoyed that we finished, which is kind of upsetting, but because I'm still happy. A few other guys still rolling over the line, so it's hard. Not everyone can keep up with the front group, as is the case, as I'm showing. But yeah, that was tough.
Good suffering, buddy.
Yeah. Sure, it's like you guys are so good at riding bikes.
We've had years of suffering.
just numb to it, are you? Just like
take your brain out at the bottom and you put it back in.
That's Sa Batalla done for you. Not done particularly well, but done. The descent down from Femenia is the best descent on the island. How'd you find the descent? Were you in a group?
Yeah, in a group.
Was it just like?
Yeah, just flat out.
Yeah.
A group of about 8, so it's a good number.
Yeah.
So not too messy.
And you had the escort, so it was closed and everything. Yeah. Oh man, I bet that was awesome.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Scary but awesome.
It is scary actually.
Yeah.
No, it's good. It's good. But funny wind today actually, because normally you get a bit of a side wind on it when it's blowing. But
Yeah.
not today. It was right.
What was it? I mean, I was too numb to anything to realise. What was it? Was it headwinds coming back into Pollence?
No, it wasn't.
It was like a bit of a cross.
It was quite sheltered.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of a crosswind, but then when you turn down here, it was a headwind. So
Okay. Yeah.
but-
Nice.
Oh, it's good.
Well done, man.
Yeah.
That was 3 hours that took me. Well outside the, I don't know what the standard is, but I'm outside it. I don't think the organisers were happy. I'm happy, that's what matters. Thank you, buddy.
No worries, mate. It's gonna be a party.
What a cool place to finish a race. Wow, that was hard. It's funny, like everyone suffers. Everyone suffers. I suffer a lot there. If I can bring 10, 15 extra watts, I'll come do this next year and see kind of how it stacks up. See if that gives me like a little bit more of a chance. Let me grab my bag and then a Coca-Cola. I went on a hunt for a Coca-Cola. I really need this. That last I mean, once you make it to the top of Femenia, it's downhill the whole way, but it still hurts. Rolling turns with a group of 4 and then a group of 5, back into town. Yeah, I think it was about 3 hours. That was a hard day. I do wish they were a bit more accommodating of, you know, we can't have been that far behind, but I think for organisers to be upset that you're crossing the finish lines, and I know what people are going to say, they're going to, you know, ride faster, but I don't know what to do, because if this, because I'd like more people to come do it. I don't like the idea of the proviso being that you have to be a really, really, really good rider, because that's a hard stage, holding front groups, going up a, you know, 800-meter climb. I had no chance of doing that. But had a wicked day trying, and it was wicked holding, like the first lap we did out of town was fast, like loads of attacks, people trying to go off the front, and then second time round way more chilled out. And then once we hit any incline up towards Sabatala through the towns, how do people do it? I need to borrow some more watts. Oh, that was a wicked day. It's so good. I don't know why I enjoy it so much. And I think I'd enjoy it like infinitely more if I was better and could hold some of the, you know, the group for a bit longer. I don't think I'll ever like flat out enjoy those climbs like that, because I don't think you're meant to enjoy that. I think that is meant to be suffering. But I think it's all relative, right? The better you are, the more comfortable you are sitting in the group at certain speeds and powers. But that was a sufferfest up Sabatala. Right, I actually fly away tonight, 2:30. I got to get to the airport. How was Sabatala?
Yeah, I was trying to catch the points.
Yeah.
But one guy was a little bit faster.
Oh really?
On the gas station.
Okay. And roughly how quickly roughly do you think you did Sabatala?
You mean on the speedo?
Yeah.
I don't know, 30.
What kind of watts were you holding on the way up?
I have no watts.
Oh, you have no watts?
No,
Okay.
It's a rental bike.
Oh, okay. He's renting a bike, I think. And how did you do today?
I was third.
Third. Rents a bike out here and comes third. Well done, man.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah. I love that. I think he's ex-pro pro rider. Just rents a bike. No watts, rents a bike, and he's doing well. Just another day of coming last at the Tour de Mallorca. The way they organise this though, and the way you're coming down the cove from Alcudia to Port Pollence, how awesome is that on a closed road? It's so good. That alone, it's 25 euros a day to do this. And if you get here quick enough, they give you a Coke. If you don't, you have to go and beg and borrow one. And the one thing I haven't spoken about is, because I'm not really part of it, is the front of this race, because it's completely closed roads. Oh my God, it's like the front of the race will be on the right and then on the left and on the right, and it's just like zooms from one side to the other, like that head of the snake. I see it all happening from the back where I am, but it's like one side, other side, and you're like, where'd it go? Where'd who go? Cheeky Top Gun reference. But yeah, it's crazy, like absolutely crazy, because the roads are closed, someone can literally ping it down one side, and then the whole front of the race just chops from one side to the other. You don't get that in the UK road racing, where we're on open roads and we only have one side of the road. That's why this is awesome. And I get to see it all from my passenger princess at the back of the race. I thought my positioning was actually quite good today. It was the only reason I survived as long as I did, was trying to get my nose a little bit higher up the group. And the experience is coming. Just need the watts. the way to do it. Back to Palma we go. So this is actually where my tour of Mallorca story ends. There is one more day of racing, which is the Friday. I am catching a flight over to Ibiza for the LeBlanc Joyride for the long weekend, which I'm looking forward to, which is a very welcome reward for the last 3 days of bike racing. So a little roundup for you. I booked everything. I booked my place on the race, I booked my hotels, I booked my flights, maybe a week and a half, maybe even a week before coming out. It's a really good time of year. We got a bit unlucky with a few storms, but obviously today was just like perfect weather, like a little bit cooler. You know, it didn't get too hot, which was handy because that would have killed me. But yeah, I booked everything quite last minute. I stayed in a hotel in Palma, did the first 2 days, which are west coast of the island. Because it's the Tour of Mallorca, it changes every year, but they use roughly the same routes each time. So they can pick kind of which ones they end up using. If you come and do all 4 days, Tuesday through to Friday, that costs €100, and I think you might pay a little bit extra for a timing chip. And there's also some racing on the weekend, like one-off racing, because these 4 days, you know, you get GC, you get whatever, like King of the Mountain and sprint points and all this kind of stuff. Proper bike racing, which has been wicked. I'm really happy to be part of it. I don't know what I'm doing, but I was really happy to be part of it. Happy to come last. It's given me a bit of a benchmark, maybe if I want to come back and do it again. But completely closed roads, it's so cool. Like that, I really enjoyed that bit. I just need to get a few more watts and then stay with the group. Tomorrow's day is a shorter day, so it was always scheduled to be like 77k, which would actually be quite similar. I think tomorrow's day is going to be similar to the first day that we did do. So no big climb, roll around, 70 odd k, smash for the last day. And I'm sad I'm not here for that, because the flatter days are the ones where I feel like I can kind of just grab onto the tail of the group and just stay on. So that is it. That is the What Life's Tour of Mallorca Masters. I think I came dead last. I mean, I obviously DNF'd a few days because we were so far behind the leaders that I don't think we get registered as a time, so you're kind of outside the cutoff, which is fine. And obviously you can keep starting each day, you're just not part of the GC anymore. Other than that, 100% recommend it. It's hard riding. I'll give them that. It's hard riding. But as I said, I organized everything like a week before coming out here, and it wasn't too difficult. Drop me any questions you might have about it that I might be able to help with. If it's how to hold a group going up Sa Batalla, please don't ask that, because I got no idea. Other than that, guys, thanks for joining in. I will see you guys on another one soon.